All right, welcome to Lights Camera Barstool, little second episode of the week action. Today we're going to be reviewing Sinners, which just came out. If you're watching this technically today, but also yesterday, we'll
hmm
also be talking about some news. We just had Star Wars Celebration kickoff recently over out in Tokyo. Didn't get the invite this time. Did me and Mary Fox didn't make the trek, the 20-hour trek out to Tokyo for this one. Although that would have been fucking sick. Gotta say it.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot they were doing it in Tokyo this year. And then once all the creators, it's a very like small group of like Star Wars creators that I follow, but I'm sure a lot of other people do too. But once I saw them like starting to post like their pictures from like just
Yeah.
Tokyo, and they like a lot of them went out early and did like Kyoto too. I was like, fuck.
hmm
That's like the perfect excuse to go out to Japan.
Yeah, doesn't get much better than that. And meanwhile, when me and Robbie went, we were just like slumming it in a convention center in Chicago, which,
Yeah.
to be fair, was that Star Wars Celebration was one of the coolest things. That was just like it was like being in like I don't know how to explain it. It was like being like you ever like go to an antique store and like treat it more like a museum, like you're just like walking around looking at cool shit. It was just
Yeah.
like that. Like you're looking at all these like weird, these cool props and shit. Like a fucking life-size TIE fighter there, just like walking around
Yeah.
looking at shit, maybe buying some stuff. And then you got the bonus of people dressed up in the most random characters in Star Wars history, like the guy with the ice cream machine and what's it called? Like the sludge monster from A New Hope, like the thing that's in like the Death Star garbage pit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, if you've never done a convention, you're listening to this. You've never done a convention. Go do one time.
it's fun as hell,
Like
man.
it's. So, I did Anime Con in New York 2 years ago, and goddamn, just like that. Like we're just people dressed up as like the most random fucking characters you can think of, and like just they're having like they just have the time of their lives. Like they wait all year for it, and they go all out.
And the cool thing is, like everyone there, everyone that's there is there because they like the same thing you like,
hmm
which is cool. So, like, and if they're dressed up in like some random character, they want you to come up and be like, "Oh my God, you're this thing! Like, that's so cool! I love this thing. You love this thing!" Like, they want that shit
Yeah,
more than anything, and it's cool. It's really fun, and I feel like people initially had a lot of hesitation towards that because it seems too dorky or like a next level thing. It's really not. Like, people go there not
no,
dressed up as anything. Me and Robbie Fox were just in like, I was wearing like an Adidas tracksuit or some shit. Like, they don't care. Like, nobody cares.
yeah,
But very fun trip. Anyway, that wasn't really much of a recap. But anyway, the first teaser I wanted to talk about was something that's really interesting. Him, a teaser that I saw ahead of Sinners. You saw it ahead of Sinners too, I'm assuming.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, we were talking in that group text, and we were like, yeah, Kenjac went early, and then I went early because I was like, I can't wait to see this movie. Everybody's talking about it, but I had to pull out my phone during the trailers and be like, holy shit,
What is this?
whatever this football horror movie that Jordan Peele's producing, this trailer like hit like a ton of bricks. Like the entire audience was just like, what the fuck is this?
hmm It's about a promising young football player who joins an isolated compound to train under a dynasty team's aging quarterback, starring Tyreek Withers, Marlon Wayans, Tim Heidecker, and Julia Fox. Produced by Peele, but directed by Justin Tipping. Tyreek Withers, I immediately recognized him because he's in a very good episode of Atlanta.
Mm,
I forget what it was, his episode title was, but he played. It was very, very great, a great episode. He was fantastic in that. So I only imagine that can hopefully carry into this. It looks crazy. Looks very Peele, very just like insane. What the fuck is going on here? Horror. Very into it and combining up the football world. Have you ever seen a football horror movie?
no,
Like how many
no.
sports horror movies do you get? Like none. That's a cool genre blend. I like it.
Yeah, no, it looks that's a really, really cool. Like just the way they released the trailer coming out of nowhere right before Center's perfect marketing. Awesome trailer. This movie could be great, or I think it also has the very high potential of being terrible. It does.
Yes.
Someone pointed this out. Now I can't. I've watched it twice now. I can't kind of unsee it that it does have shades of a Nike Pro commercial.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's on
Like the
purpose,
way
but I
it's
don't.
lit. Yeah, and the way. Yeah, I think it probably is on purpose. But does that work for 2 hours?
No.
Who knows? Very excited for that. We don't get football movies often, and for good reason. They're not. Oftentimes, they're not very good. I'd say in terms of like all the sports movies, football probably has the lowest batting average. I don't know why that is, but maybe just the number of players you have to deal with, and it's just kind of hard to work with.
Yeah.
But this looks awesome. Very cool setup. Jeff said that it reminds him of the substance for like football fans, and yeah,
Yeah.
good call.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. That concussions shot at like the 38-second mark of
Yeah.
the trailer, insane. Like very insane. That's the part where I think everyone was like, "Whoa,
A
whoa."
lot of like MRI footage like spliced without throughout it too, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
Like the
Yeah.
brainwave stuff. I love that. But yeah,
No.
that's him. Very excited to that. And then we can talk a little bit about Star Wars. The big thing coming out of Star Wars was we got like our first kind of real confirmation and peek at what is going to be called Star Wars Starfighter, Sean Levy's Star Wars movie, starring Ryan Gosling. The only details I really got out of this is that is going to be the title, Starfighter, and then it's going to be set 5 years after Rise of Skywalker, which is interesting. It'll be the furthest forward
Hmm.
any of the movies or shows has ever been. Very. This is a project until Ryan Gosling walked out on stage. I was like, it's a 50-50 shot this movie ever happens because they announce a million things, they cancel a million things. It's just the way Star Wars works. So I wasn't positive. Now that Gosling has come out on stage, and that it still isn't a guarantee, I'm a lot more
Hmm.
confident this will actually happen. And they said they're going to start shooting in fall. It's obviously coming up
Yeah.
soon. So, I mean, all this seems like it could be great. I mean, when you think about, I think like the lovable rogue character, which is what I'm assuming the Starfighter kind of is going to be. Like that's Ryan Gosling. He does that perfectly. Like the sort of like badass but really likable guy. And I think if you do like you essentially you graft the his character from the Nice Guys and put him into the Star Wars world, you get like a Han Solo kind of
Hmm.
replicant. And I love that. I love that because that just works in Star Wars. We've seen it work. And I enjoyed it a lot. Get a lot of hopefully a lot of space fights. They said it's gonna be one off as well, like not really tied to anything else. Also great. So all about it. All about this movie.
Yeah, I was with you. I definitely did not think that this was ever going to happen, to be honest. And even when Ryan Gosling came out on stage, I was still like, eh. They brought Mahershala Ali out on one of their stages
True.
6 years ago, and we still have no updates on that goddamn movie. But announcing that they're going to film this fall, I mean, this is for sure happening now. No backing out. Like, they're full steam ahead. Ryan Gosling, great, great. Love that. I love the idea of getting outside of the main storyline that they've already covered, like moving the plot forward, I guess you would call it. I'd even wish that it'd be further away from Rise of Skywalker, but the fact that they're getting outside of like the Skywalker lineage line and even before that, thank God.
Mm.
My only big concern, it's been the concern the whole way through, Levy. I just don't know if he's the guy. Like what like best case scenario is like he's J.J. Abrams, and worst case scenario is like very bad. So I think it's kind of he's the big flag on the field, I would say.
Sure.
But outside of that, yeah, no. And the title, I don't really like. Well, I'm not going to get hung up on the title. I don't like Starfighter. It's just so plain. I don't.
Mm.
You
I
know what I
kind of like
mean?
it because it reminds me of like the 80s style like sort of sci-fi movies like the late 70s early 80s like
Hmm.
things would be called shit like that like they wanted Luke Skywalker to be called Star Killer, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they
No.
kind of I kind of like that as far as like if that's the vibe they go for too. Like if they're doing like sort of like neon ray gun type of like
Hmm.
thematically like a look, then I think that fits really well. But also depends on what they do.
Yeah. No. This is the thing I'm actually no, because Mando and Grogu. Let's pivot to that. Mando and Grogu, I was very much out on because it's just like do we need to bring the TV characters to the live action? I wasn't sure about that, but can we talk about the footage?
Yeah, I think
We can
we could
talk
talk
about it.
about it.
Yeah. Without, yeah, we should be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that footage was fucking awesome. This is gonna work. This is gonna make $1 billion easy. This looks great. Looks fantastic. Big crowd pleasing Star Wars movie. Hell yeah. I mean, it'll be slop, but I think it's gonna be like very good slop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, just before we pass on Starfighter real quick, apparently Mikey Madison passed on it. Just to throw that out there into
Smart.
the wind. Apparently passed. I don't think
That's
she's a good fit in that universe anyway. Do your own thing.
Yeah, like that's just like first move after the Oscars. Don't get tied down
Yeah.
to IP, especially like an IP that if it doesn't turn out right, you're gonna have millions of fans fucking hating you forever.
And also, like, she's going to get a good paycheck movie. There's no doubt at all about that. You could not that Star Wars is paying shit, but like you could probably you'll be able to find that, and you might be able to find it in a better space than this.
Mhm.
But so to say that, and if there's any sort of Oscar-winning actress out there, especially one that young who hasn't their rate isn't up there just yet, her rate is about to go up through the fucking roof anyway. So just throw it out there. But yeah, so Randall and Grogu, I'm with you on that. I was kind of out on it, and then we saw a little bit of sneaky footage, and man, it is fucking cool, man. It's fucking cool. It's fucking cool as hell. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing that it quelled all my doubts was it looks very cinematic. Like looks complete. I don't want to say completely different from the show, but it's just so obvious like what you can do in a movie space versus what you can do on television. Like the
Yep.
quality of the way it looked, even from the janky iPhone footage, which was actually pretty good footage
Not
for
too
an
shabby.
iPhone. Um, it looked just so good. I miss Star Wars on the big screen. They need to come back. I mean, start making these fucking movies again. Come on,
Yeah. Even
get
when
off
it's
the
like
streaming service.
even when it's just like a slightly above average movie, that's a fun ass time. You know what I mean? Like if it's
Yeah,
solo, like I'm having a great time in
yeah.
the theater.
I had a great time at Solo, man.
Yeah. Dude, I
Take
was sitting there,
Solo too.
they were saying the sloppiest lines and I was like, "Yes!" Like they're like whatever him talking to Chewie, he's like, I didn't take Wookiee in college. I'm like, "Ah, yes,
Yeah.
Han." But yeah, the it looks good. That comes out May 22nd, 2026. But that's Star Wars. There's some other smaller bits and pieces. They
Hmm.
talked a little bit about the trilogy that like or the movies that Taika is supposed to be directing and other people. I don't put stock in any of that. Again, I'm very
Yeah, the Taiko one is the one now where I'm like,
they've
yeah.
been talking about that for like 20 years. Like I don't trust anything in really at that stage. Like the fact that again, Levy's saying they're shooting in fall, and Galson came on stage, I feel more confident in it. I will say Levy seems to maybe get a little lost with CGI, and I do think that one of the great things or most important things when you're making a Star Wars property, stick to practical as much as humanly possible
Hmm.
because there is no other franchise in the world in all of IP where your fans it does not affect their suspension of disbelief to see miniatures, to see practicals, to see puppets, to see
Hmm.
anything goofy looking. Like we love that shit. So use that. Use that to your advantage. You don't need to make a big sloppy CGI mess. You can do practical and no one will care. In fact,
Yes.
they'll prefer it. So it's something to throw out.
Which, speaking of practicals and miniatures, pivot to the next thing.
Yeah, Fantastic Four,
Fantastic
baby.
Four, which we got a shot of Galactus
Hmm.
walking through the city. Very small shot, probably 2 seconds worth. But boy, did that look great.
Yeah,
Putting somebody just walking through a miniature. Oh, it made my heart grow 3 sizes. I was like, yes, Marvel, thank you.
that's Shackman.
Thank you.
That's a Shackman effect, I think. That's him being like, we needed to get away from this as much as we can.
Yeah. So what did you think of that second trailer? I
I think
guess
it
the
looked good.
final is it the final trailer?
I believe so. I thought it looked really good. Everything about it, it feels like it's just very, and this is a compliment, like very much like The Incredibles, which Incredibles obviously bases a lot off of stuff like Fantastic Four and the old
Hmm.
50s style thing. But like, I don't know what you call that stylist or that aesthetic, whatever, but like, it looks great. I love that. And I like the vibe they're giving out. I like all the conversations that they've given and everything.
Hmm.
Still don't buy Joseph Quinn whatsoever as Storm, which we've talked about ad nauseum at this point.
Yeah.
But everything seems pretty much great. I love it. And Julia Fox, we got Silver Surfer for a little bit. I saw people bitching about it.
Garner.
Sorry.
Julia Fox Silver Surfer. Oh, buddy.
I
Good
mean,
Lord. Now that's
that,
casting.
now the memes where they had like they showed like the Silver Surfer and then like the what do you call it, Nicholas Holt character and Mad Max with like the chrome all over his face. Like that would be us with Julia Fox. But
Listen, she looked good.
yeah,
There's something about that that design in comic books and sci-fi where it's like just naked person, but they're not actually naked.
yeah,
Like it's their skin. You can't really see.
dude.
It's the
I
mystique
saw
when it was
people
just
I saw people
Famke
bitching about it,
Janssen.
like, oh, the 2007 version looked better. It's like, not really. Like, it looks pretty much the same. It's a silver CGI person, like they both were. Like, it's
Yeah.
not really like, well, what would you prefer that to look like? Like, it just looks
Mhm.
fine. It's who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, liked it.
Yeah, no, that I will give credit. I do think that's in terms of the CGI in the trailer, the Silver Surfer was the weakest spot, but that could just be a situation where those metallic characters are just impossible to do. I don't really know the the recipe behind it, but I will say like in the past thinking like even what's the character in Deadpool? The X-Force character that's completely like metallic.
The Russian guy,
Yeah,
shit,
even he like
Colossus.
4 years ago, like it's a tough look. But other than that, it looks I think great. I think the biggest pro is there's a very clear visual style
Yeah,
that's separate from like what we've come to expect from Marvel. In 30, what, 35 movies in, 40 movies in. This looks completely different from like everything that's come before it. I think they need to do more of that. I think Thunderbolts also has a very different visual style just based on the trailers. And that's a good sign. Marvel's taking their lessons. They hear the complaints, and I think they're trying their best right now.
We hear you.
Yeah, I do. It is sad to think that the world that they exist in, the Fantastic Four, is probably going to be gone by the end of the movie, and they're going to be brought into the main MCU. Because I really like the way that world looks, like all
Yeah.
the retro future stuff, like you said, looks so cool. I guess you'd call it Silver Age comic look. I guess that's really what they're going for. But yeah, no, I really love the way that looks. The
Hmm.
costumes, all the sets, the city. Yeah, the thing looks great. I love.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he'll be. I think he's clearly going to be the fan favorite.
And that was important too, that he looked good and he looks absolutely fantastic. And I like the little interview featurettes where they're like, "We love you, Fantastic Four," like the little like on the street. I thought that was cool
Hmm.
too. But that's Fantastic Four. Just a little casting news. Michael Shannon will be playing Bill Parcells in Mr. Irrelevant, with
Hell yeah.
Chaz David Cornsweet playing John Tuggle, Mr. Irrelevant, obviously. Uh, I I don't see Parcells and Michael Shannon. Like none of that makes sense to me. Like
He's Belichick, which is funny because
yeah,
Belichick was on that coaching staff.
yeah,
But
that's the weird part to me. Unless there's maybe like a misdirect or something. But I don't see him as Parcells. But at the same time, if Michael Shannon thinks he can do it, who am I to doubt it? Michael Shannon's fucking incredible, great actor. So
also kind of ironic, right? You got David Cornsweet as Superman
yeah, yeah, Zod
and
and
General Zod as his coach.
yeah, Zod and
I don't
Superman
know.
back together.
It's
It's kind
also
of
very strange. I don't know if you know, there's another the Madden biopic is in development right
yeah, with
now
Cage
too.
and Cage is
Christian
Madden and a
Bale.
few other people, right?
Isn't Christian Bale in it too for some reason?
Yes.
Mulaney. I know Mulaney just got cast yesterday in
Yeah, I'm not
it. So
sure
it's
who.
just very strange. We have two because the NFL forever has just been impossible for studios to work with.
Yeah.
And now we have two pretty big NFL movies coming up out of nowhere.
Hmm. But yeah, that's Mr. Relevant. Judd Apatow and Glenn Powell are writing together a movie that Glenn Powell is going to star in, where he stars as a spiraling country star. So not A Star Is Born, but some or Crazy Heart, or this is kind of like a they've done this, but Glenn Powell, I buy him as a country star. If he went
Yeah.
and made a country album right now, it'd be like the best selling thing in the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by the way, back then, movie stars used to just do that. Like like Bruce Willis made like 15 albums or whatever. Like in the turn of the 80s into the 90s. Like people just used to do that shit. So hey,
Russell Crowe's still trying.
yeah, he's still
Still
out there.
still trying. His music's terrible.
Didn't like Joe Pesci make like a rap album or something?
Oh, I don't know about
I'm pr- I'm, I'm
that.
pretty sure he made like a gangsta's rap or something like or some shit.
Too short. Like
What was it?
like what?
Dude, he has 3 albums. Little Joe Sure Can Sing. Vincent LaGuardia, what is it? Sings Just for You? What the fuck? I don't know, but I'm just the people used to do this shit, so would not hate if you went out if Glenn Powell went out trying to make a country album.
No, I really like the sound of this. Original comedy just is nice to hear. It's very nice to hear original comedy, big studio comedy coming out with one of the biggest stars on planet Earth. Very Glenn Powell is him writing this is very interesting because he
Very.
wrote Hitman, of course, and his entire upcoming filmography is also just who he's working with. He's very much in the Tom Cruise school right now. Like, learn how to do a bunch of different things, work with as many talented filmmakers as you can, become as big of a star as you can. Don't tie yourself into like hardcore IPs. I really love the direction he's going. I love it. He's making all the right moves. Tom Cruise reference.
Yeah,
All the right
I
moves.
was gonna say he's making a remake of all the right. Yeah,
But yeah, no, I love the sound of this.
he's
Well,
also
it
got the
was
Chad Powers
Apatow's
thing too.
last. Yeah, was Apatow's last King of
The
Staten Island?
green or the bubble.
Oh yeah.
There's
Wait, did
something between.
Apatow write that too?
I'm
He
almost
did, didn't
positive.
he?
I'm almost
Fuck.
positive. Let's see.
That was a Netflix movie. Doesn't count.
let's see, The Bubble. He has Bob and Don, a love story, which is a documentary, and Stormy, which he did like is that a Stormy Daniels thing? Oh boy. But yeah, The Bubble. He did all three. He was director, writer, producer, and that stuff. But you know what? Credit to him. I mean, Maud Apatow rebounded from that. It's it. So credit that was a potential disaster for his own family, and she rebounded. So that's a plus. But yeah, that is our whatever country movie. Now we can talk about Sinners. This movie, just to kind of like set the stage, I think a little bit. I can't remember a movie over the last like year and change that has gotten as much hype as Sinners has gotten. They're like through the
You think
roof.
more than Dune? You think
Like
More than Dune?
I'm talking like critics came out of that theater saying this is the best movie of the year, this is the best movie of the last few years, like and consensus, every single person saying this is revolutionary, changed the game. Like, oh my God, this is incredible. Like there was not anybody saying a bad word, not a negative word, like let
No,
alone
I think it's sitting at 99% for both critics and audiences right now on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's like averaging right now like a 4.3 on Letterboxd. Scores are through the roof.
yeah. So like you're hard pressed over the last month for screenings, whatever. Like you could not find a negative word about it. Everything was positive. Everything everyone said, game changing, easily best of the year, easily one of the best of the last few years. So the expectation, at least for me going into it yesterday, was like this is going to be that, right? Like there's
Hmm.
everyone is saying this, so my expectation is going to be that. Sinners, I don't think is that. I don't think it's like a oh my God, this just changed the game. Oh my God, this is easily the best of the year. Oh my God, this is easily one of the best movies of the last few years. I don't think it's necessarily that, but at the same time, like that's not the movie's fault. That's critics' fault. That's whatever. But this movie's awesome. It is so fucking good. It is, and it does something which I think is very difficult in sort of making the vampire genre fresh because you
Hmm.
cannot. I really don't think there's like a genre or subgenre of movies that is more beaten to death. Like the horse is dead and beaten than vampires. Like we've seen every iteration, we've seen every version, even like Nosferatu, which we all like for the most part. Like that
Hmm.
doesn't do anything revolutionary. It's just pretty much verbatim the story. Like we already know what the
Hmm.
vampires do. That's what it does. This, I think, movie has that insane uphill battle and it wins. You know, like it
Hmm.
makes a fresh take on vampires, which I think is very hard. I think on the technical end, the inclusion of like how and Ludwig Göransson did the score and also as an executive producer on it. The way they included music in this is like awesome, and that to me is like the coolest part about this movie is like that is more fresh than anything I think you'll see in theaters in a while. Very cool. I think the cast is sort of like up and down performance wise. Like some people are like crushing it. Like Delroy Lindo, who I think is like one of the best working actors right now, is unreal. Most of the other cat like Wunmi Masaku is great. Michael B. Jordan is, I think, kind of up and down too. Like every time he needs to be cool and badass, kills it. Anytime he needs to be scared, it's a little like, I don't know if I buy that. And I think maybe the only weakness is like Miles Keaton, who played
Oh,
Sam.
really?
He has one of the coolest voices
Oh
I
my
think
God.
I've ever heard.
Unbelievable.
So one of the coolest voices I've ever heard. I don't think he was particularly great at acting, but like he was really good at the voice. Like just erases all that. You know what I mean? Like it makes everything else not matter. And I think that structurally, first act great setup. Third act is unbelievable. Third act is great. That's one of the best I've seen in a few years, and like probably at least a year. That third act. Middle act is a little bit. All right,
Hmm.
let's move. Let's move. Like we don't need the 15 minutes of like going through town talking about stories that aren't totally relevant to what we're doing here. But at the same time, this is definitely one of the best movies of 2025. There's no question. Like
Oh, yeah.
if not one, then two. Like it's 1A, 1B ish type territory right now. It's fresh, it's scary, it's sexy, it's all of those things. And to me, it's like this is a movie I watched. And I'm like, that's like a 95 out of 100. Well, the critics were saying if like this is obviously 100 out of 100, and I don't think it's that.
Hmm.
Like I don't think it's a revolutionary game changer, whatever. But I think it's like just that miniature tier right below that. And I really like it. It's an awesome movie. Saw it in IMAX. IMAX experience was unreal. Really,
Yeah.
really good use of like there are some scenes specifically, and I'm sure you'll like you note where like they open up the barn doors and it's like And
I
man,
actually
it
saw
just
it. I saw it in Dolby. So
ah
unfortunately, I did not. I'm going next week. Well, I'll be back in New York, and
yeah.
I got my ticket to see it on the right screen,
Dude, the
the
IMAX was
Lincoln Square.
awesome.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah,
really, really cool. And again, good music. Pretty much like it's like a movie if you're one of those people that doesn't and those people aren't watching this. But if you're one of those people that only goes to a few movies a year, but like this is the one to go to. Don't go with your dad or whatever parents. Too sexy for that. But this is a great date movie. And as I went with my Isabel, so like yeah, she loved it.
yeah. Great date movie. Great movie to catch with your friends. It's kind of movie. If I was in like high school, I would have like gone after like a football practice with all my friends. Caught it. Great, great stuff. Ryan Coogler, I think, is like the clear MVP of this movie. Even with what Ludwig Göransson did, I think Coogler just like finally getting out of the IP space. Obviously, he's done these Creed movies, Black Panther, and of course, he started with Fruitville Station, but it's so different from everything
Hmm.
else he's ever done. But Coogler just he has such a sense for the modern blockbuster. He's 38 years old, and he just makes a movie that I think a modern audience wants to see. There's characters you want to root for in all of his works. Michael B. Jordan, obviously, he's done every single movie with him, which is fucking insane to think about. But he's like I don't think Michael B. Jordan's the greatest actor ever, but in terms of like, he's the perfect movie star for Coogler's movies.
Yes.
Great stuff there. Shooting on film looks fantastic. He puts interesting cinematography without it being like obnoxiously elevated, if that makes sense. And I like a lot of obnoxiously elevated stuff. But general audiences do not go to see $100 million movie for obnoxiously elevated cinematography. He just gives you interesting stuff that everyone can follow along with and everyone can appreciate. The pacing of his stories always move quick without sacrificing the story. So, like here, you brought up he's walking on very heavily walk through ground with vampire stories, and he knows that, so he doesn't stop at any point to be like, this is their weakness. Like, you we know they don't like garlic, we know they don't like silver, asking to come inside. Like, he doesn't ever stop and be like, these are the rules for vampires, we have to go find this book and tell us about like all the rules with vampires. No, fuck that. We got a person who likes voodoo in there, and they're gonna be like, yeah, no, this is it. And we're all like, okay, yeah, we know this. Love that. So Kugler, just I think he's really great. He's very excited to me, especially now that he's outside of like, and I like his Black Panther movies and I really love his Creed movies, but like doing his own stuff now, this is the movie I really hope people show out for. And it's looking like they are, but I really want this to be a huge hit because we need more original blockbusters. And this is a good one, like a really good one. It's a lot of fun. I love the way music take, like if you like music, and everyone likes music, but if you're like really into the history of music, you listen to music from all different time periods and all different genres, you're gonna love this movie. Like
Hmm.
love it because it's about the history of music and how it's all intertwined. Very primal. It's a really I came out of the theater 85 out of 100. I'm probably gonna go up on that. There's a couple plot points we can talk about that I didn't love, but outside of that, this is just a damn good time. Damn
Yeah,
good time.
yeah, and now I think we can get into spoilers a little bit. So if you haven't watched yet, you could skip forward or you could stay. Doesn't matter if you don't want shit spoiled. But yeah, the I think the big star. I would agree with you. Coogler sort of like applying his like cinematography techniques onto the Goranson sort of score made for really cool stuff. I think like the shot of the movie is when they do like the music through the ages type of thing, like
Mhm.
that long oneer into like up into the sky and then back down, and then you see all the
Mhm.
vampires and doing their shit. That was unbelievable. That was really cool. No clue how they do that. I'm sure they're going to show, I'm sure, a breakdown of it eventually over time. That was really cool. I really enjoyed his take on vampires, like including the music onto it and applying it onto like the sort of like historical, I guess, that time period, which by the way, practical or not practical, production wise, you're immersed right in that time period immediately.
Yeah.
All was great. Like the cars, the town, the barn or mill, whatever, the outfits, all great. But like applying like the sort of like the seduction of a vampire into like the sort of historical repression of like Black Irish Chinese people. Like, cool, really good
Mhm.
idea. And then the addition of music into that, music being like in the shared memory of the generations and all that, I thought was really, really cool. And just the music itself was fucking great. Man, that was
So good.
The blues music was great, and that guy, that was it Miles Caton, right? His
Yeah.
voice again,
Oh my God.
unbelievable. That guy he's a star with that voice.
He has like the moment where he's singing the church, or not the church, but the first song inside the barn where, it turns into that scene that you're just talking about. It starts out, his voice is beautiful right from the jump, but then he hits that next gear where it's
Yeah,
only a few singers have that ability where they can be so gifted right off the bat, but then hit another gear that just no one else can hit, and he hits it, and it's one of those movie moments that'll stick with me throughout the year. Like it's incredible. His voice is amazing. I don't know
yeah,
how I've never heard of him or how this is like the first way we're
dude.
learning about him.
This guy doesn't have a Wikipedia page. He's like one of the best singers I've heard in the last like 10 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, his voice is unreal. I think again, the the acting is sort of or like kind of like an up and down thing. I think he wasn't when the moments called for him to be a star
Hmm.
of the shot or of the scene. I don't think he wasn't fantastic. And kind of the same thing again. Michael B. Jordan, he's so fucking cool and badass and all that stuff
Hmm.
that works every second of the movie for him. But then the second he needs to act like a little bit scared, I'm like, I don't think he's scared. Like he does like a lot of this thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, like I just don't think you're very scared of what's happening right in front of you. But that's whatever. But
Yeah.
Wumi Wasako again, incredible, and Delroy Lindo, man, dude, put him in every movie. He's so fucking good, so talented. And then Haley Steinfeld, I think, kind of difficult because she had to do sort of like a dual role performance. You know what I mean? Because like pre and
Hmm.
post vamp, and so same thing with Michael B. Jordan because that element was also hard, and I think he did great there. But she did great in both of those parts. And then Jack O'Connell, man,
Yeah.
frightening, frightening man. And also,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was him singing, but great voice.
Yeah. No, I really like the Jack O'Connell character, which I think
Remick,
he's
I
got an
think.
interesting lineup coming up, but of like people he's working with. So I think people have caught on that he's got some talent to him. Let me see, because
I was
obviously
thinking,
he was in Unbroken forever ago.
yeah, I watched him in this show
Oh, he's
called,
in 28 years later coming up.
yeah, I watched him in this show called Rogue Heroes. He was fantastic in that. It's like I think a MGM Plus series about like the desert rats in World War II. Really good in that, as well as like Alfie Allen's in that too. Pretty good show. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was
Go
really good,
ahead.
very scary.
Yeah, no, I thought the performances, like you said, I kind of aligned with you and everything. Michael B. Jordan, limited actor, but like he has the kind of qualities that we talk about it all the time. There's certain quality to like a movie star, like a leading man or a leading actress that you're born with it or you're not, you don't have it or you do have it. And he's got it. Like he just really does. And I love the fact that we have this Coogler, Michael B.
Like
Jordan,
pairing,
Ludwig
yeah.
Göransson like team here because you can create some really good things when these artists find each other and they start to really get into each other's brains and play off of each other. I mean, you come to mind like Lucas, Williams, Harrison Ford. Such an interesting, they do Star Wars and they immediately go and do Indiana Jones together, and those
Hmm.
three are creating the most iconic blockbusters ever together. And I think that even here, Coogler and Jordan, the way they talk about each other's films, obviously Michael B. Jordan just directed a fucking movie and wrote a fucking movie in Creed 3.
Yeah.
So these are three people that are very creative. Ludwig Göransson has a massive executive produced by Ludwig Göransson. I mean, title card
Yep.
right as the credits start to roll. So it's like these three are really working together, and I find that so fascinating. And Göransson, the way music takes center stage in this movie, I really want to hear them talk about and see how much of a role Ludwig had in like just the story elements and the direction of the movie because the role music played in this I found very fascinating, very fun. Yeah, no,
Coolest part of the movie, yeah.
I'm excited to see this again on the correct screen. And I'm not saying there's if you don't have access to like an IMAX theater, you're seeing it the wrong way, but seeing it in the best screen possible, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. He was and you know what's kind of cool too is again, you like you just mentioned, they've done all of these movies together and
Yeah.
never at any point has it felt like Michael B. Jordan has been playing like the same character. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like he's very different in all of these roles, like extremely different characters. Like in Black Panther, he's nothing like he
No.
is like Smoker Stack, like and in Fruitville or Creed, nothing like him, Smoker Stack. But I think they're both great. I think again, also doing the twin performance, which you just saw Pattinson do really well in Mickey 17. Like the twin performance, I don't think is easy either. trying to give
Hmm.
you a little bit of differentiation between those two characters. He does great there.
I thought
The
this was a tough one too because the twins are very similar to each other with just tiny nuances between the two.
Yes.
So it's a tough twin performance, I think.
And I gotta say, the looks on both of them are so cool. The suits,
Hmm.
the hats, the gold tooth, like all that shit was
The smoke and the hand rolled cigs, like
hand rolled
love that.
cigs. Him passing each other like the cigarettes all the time, like that. I think all rocked. You got good depth out of most of the movie, character wise. Probably could use like maybe like a few less mains, but like I don't know who you would take
Hmm.
out. And the action was good. Like good. It was bloody, but not like too much. So like it wasn't like
Yeah.
disgusting at any point.
Just
Like
someone asked me if this is like too scary to go see if you don't like horror. No, like I said, if like you can get through like the Michael Jackson like Thriller music video, I'll be honest, I think you can get through this. Like there's some gore, but it's so like campy.
it's more like blood and
Yeah,
like slight gore, like a little bit of prosthetics
yeah.
on faces and shit, and like really that's it. Like some burns.
The scariest moments like early in the movie in the church, I think. The quick
The jump
jump
scares
score, like of like
that
the
fucked
tremor,
me.
like he's
That
having
fucked me up good.
PTSD.
Because you
Yeah,
expect the jump
that.
scare to come way later in the movie, and it was just like, phew, got me.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what else to note. A lot of the side characters I thought were acted out really well, like the dude from Ballers, who played Cornbread, the bodyguard. I thought was very funny.
yeah.
Uh, he was really good. Most of the side actors in general, I thought, did a great job. Just like all the guys who didn't have a lot of screen time
Hmm.
did well with what they had. And again, really good camera work. You know what scene was really cool was the scene where like they go outside and you just see all the vampires dancing in the big circle. Like that was freaky as
Dude.
fuck.
And that's another thing where you think it looks free. I thought it looked kind of fun because like, honestly, I'm like, I think it's very, you look through Coogler's movies and every villain he's had has been a villain that you can really sympathize with. They're wrong and you know they're wrong and they're evil, but you sympathize with like Killmonger, you sympathize with them.
Yeah,
Uh, what was Technowar's character in Wakanda Forever? Namor.
yeah,
That's a character you can sympathize with. The Creed villain, Jonathan Majors villain. You sympathize with these characters. I
yeah.
find that like that is very good filmmaking, very good screenwriting. Like,
Makes it way more compelling as a story. And yeah, I mean it was
mhm,
cool. It's like because you like all these characters, like they do an almost an exhaustive to a point of being like how like oppressed their situation is, and
mhm,
they should be like, hey, you're sick of trying to get your way to the top. Guess what? We could all be on the same level as immortal
mhm.
vampires of the creatures of the night. So it's like a little shortcut, so to speak. But
Yeah,
yeah, that was I liked it. Ending was cool. They did their
yeah.
little.
I have a couple questions to finish it off. How do you feel about the post credit scenes?
I didn't go through the whole post credit. I only went to like the first
Oh,
like
I only did the first one too, and I'm hearing now that there was a second one.
I only well I guess that wasn't even really a post credit. I was just watching the credits as like they showed the older version of him playing the guitar. There was
Mhm.
what was after that?
There's another scene I think that and I didn't stick around with it, so this is just hearsay. But as far as I can tell, it's like it goes back to the original time period. It's just the Miles Catan, what's his name, right?
Yeah, Caton, Caton,
Caden, Miles Caden. It's
Caton.
just him singing at the church, I believe, like before everything happened.
Mid credit scene where Smoke actually allowed Vampire Stack to live and run away with Mary after making a promise to leave Sammy B. The twist plays out flash forward 60 years later, reveal that Sammy, now played by blues legend Buddy Guy, went on to become a famous
Oh, that's
musician,
interesting.
which we saw. Vampire Stack and Mary now decked out in the early 90s finest enter Sammy's club and offer her to make an immortal now that he's nearing the end of his natural life.
That
Sammy
Gucci sweater was
refuses,
crazy.
and the three discuss their night while Sammy
Wait,
revealing.
did you not see this part?
No, this is all post credit. I left while they were doing the.
Oh, okay. This is mid credit.
Okay,
So yeah, no,
did not see this.
it's a good 5 minute scene. Like it is a second ending for all intents and purpose.
Oh,
So if you haven't seen this movie, make sure you stick around for that mid credit scene. I'm not gonna lie, I did not like it. I did not. I did not care for that mid credit scene, but I can disassociate from that and just act like the movie ended when the first credit hit.
There's also a
Um,
post-credit scene where he's shown singing "This Little Light of Mine" in a sequence that
mhm.
implies he's off to live his chosen life as a musician with the light of his musical talent to guide him. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how I care for that. I don't think I care for that at all as a
Yeah.
mid credit. I don't think that needs a mid credit. I think that was just a
Yeah,
good ending as it was.
that's one of those things where though I'm like he's really just tapped into like the younger generation of like moviegoers, and this is a blockbuster. They're just trained on Marvel movies and DC movies, and they want mid-credit scenes. They want mid-credit and post-credit scenes, and
Hmm.
he's gonna give it to them, and he's gonna use it to the best of his ability to tell the story. But I did not care for that. Did not care for it.
Yeah.
And then the other question would be: is Goranson the guy right now? Like, is he the number one? Has he taken it from Zimmer? Has he taken it from who? Like,
I think John Williams and Zimmer need to be gone for that to happen. Like
okay,
body of work. Like I don't think that there's any way he passes either of them before they go, so to speak. But they're both like he is I think like he's the clear to me like there are so many great like Howard Shore, Greg
yeah,
Williams, like all these guys are fantastic composers. But like I feel like if you're talking you're making a blockbuster and you can get anyone, this guy just made like probably like the score of the 2020s in Oppenheimer, and then
yep,
on top of that has done all this incredible stuff with Coogler. Like he is the blockbuster, the new blockbuster composer. So yeah, I would say he's like the number three.
yeah. No, crazy stuff. It's nice to have these just exciting young guys in the industry making blockbusters. We have a
Yeah,
lot of really exciting young filmmakers making interesting like stuff that we like, but like stuff that I can just tell my friends to go see. This is awesome.
yeah. But yeah, a very good movie. I don't think again necessarily like holy shit, this is the best movie, blah, blah,
Hmm.
revolutionary. I don't think it's that. I think it's very, very, very good and very worth seeing in theaters. It is um fresh, a fresh ground or fresh take on again a very the deadest horse in vampires.
Hmm.
That horse could not be deader. And
Hmm.
ironically brought it back to life in a vampire way. And very cool use of again of music, Ludwig Göransson, and I think they are just such a good, like you were mentioning, not to beat that dead horse again. They are just a great combo. They're fantastic minds as far as like
Yeah.
including music and melding all this shit together. Right after the movie on the train ride home, I just was like, I'm popping on. This
Oh yeah.
is Ludwig Göransson. So I just went through like, the whole man, dude. It's so crazy. You go from like the like Black Panther theme to like the Creed theme, like getting higher version, then to like the fucking Oppenheimer, hear the music, whatever, see the music, and like all of it, dude, so good. But yeah, Coogler, one of the biggest. He, like you mentioned before, he's like a blockbuster guy. He is going to deliver in any genre. And I gotta say, ahead of this movie, we saw about 800 horror trailers for the movies coming to theater. And Isabel asked me, she's like, "Why are they making so many horror movies?" And I'm like, "Guess what? They make a lot of money. They make an ass ton of money. They could be a dog shit movie that costs 20 million to make, or it could be this costing 100 million. Doesn't matter. It's gonna make a shit ton of money back." So very excited for that. Next week, I believe we have. We also have, by the way, the chat new teaser. We didn't mention this for 28 days later. That was horrifying.
Yeah.
I'm so ready for that, dude. That's gonna be. I'm so excited. It was scary too.
Yeah.
A lot of scary like little moments. Like I didn't even see this in the first few trailers. The like whatever special ops guys like going through the caves and the
Hmm.
infected come out, and then like when you see Aaron Taylor Johnson out in the field and like the naked infected come sprinting out of the trees,
Such
scary as
a
shit.
That reminds me of every time I see that shot, it reminds me of like Attack on Titan. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Just
they run the way the Titans do, like the
like that
mindless ones. Yeah.
that little wiggle. Oh, dude, did you get a teaser for weapons as well?
No.
Dude, it was
Did you get it?
creepy as fuck. Really creepy. All you
That's
see
probably the
is like
horror movie I'm most excited for this year.
a bunch of like kids like running like almost like with their hands out like airplane, like sprinting
Hmm.
down the street as fast as they can. And like everyone's like, we don't know how this happened. We don't know what they did. They all got up and left at the same time. No one abducted them. Like it was scary, man. I really liked it.
They're calling it the horror version of Magnolia, the
Yeah.
horror Magnolia,
Yep.
which like sign me the fuck up for that.
Yeah.
I
So
had to show my girlfriend some whitest kids you know skits. Yeah,
yeah.
because I was like, you got to understand this. You
I
got to
gotta say,
understand where this guy came from.
I put it on as well recently just because I was like, let's go see some old Craig. It doesn't hold up as well as I remembered. But
So, I mean, but like 2003 humor, that was like the funniest fucking like
on the planet.
irreverent, like offbeat stuff you could get.
Yeah. So I think we could do Accountant 2 next
Ooh,
week, which comes
yes.
out on the 25th.
Let me tell you something, man.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, big bro. You calling me because you missed me? Braxton? What a name. I fucking love them. By the way, Rico Bosco, did you see that?
What?
What the fuck? Rico Bosco's like the accountant 2 is gonna suck. I'm just
Why
telling
does
you.
anyone have this strong opinion on that?
I don't know. He's like, I'm telling you all right now, accountant 2 is gonna suck. What the fuck, dude? Like, why would you say that? It's gonna be exactly what it's supposed to be.
Didn't the Celtics coach just go on part of my take and say that he's just like looking at like the only thing he's looking forward to
Is
after
the
like
accountant 2?
basketball is the accountant too.
That lines up perfectly. I mean, no, do not doubt that one bit. We also have what Legend of Ochi. We
Which
have
apparently is very good.
yeah,
People are saying it's very like ET, like 80s kind of like, kid and a monster
I
find their
like
way.
that. And we also have the Until Dawn adaptation is coming out next week, but I
Yeah.
never played that game. I don't.
It looks kind of scary, but it doesn't look very good.
We have Havoc, which I'm very excited for. That's a direct to Netflix. That I think is has potential to be absolutely awesome.
That's the Gareth Evans movie, right?
Tom
With
Hardy,
with
yeah,
Tom Hardy, yeah.
yeah, that I think is going to be awesome. Gareth Evans, again, this dude made two of the best action movies of all time in the Raid 2. So I
Yeah.
mean, you combine it with Tom Hardy, get some good. Which, by the way, he has Tom Hardy's series on
Yeah, Mobland?
Mobland. It's pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty fucking good.
It's someone Pierce is in that too, right?
Pierce is in it. Helen Mirren's in it. A
Okay.
few others that like you would recognize in it for sure. Neighborhood Watch with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Jack
What
Quaid.
does
Alan Ackerman.
Friends come out soon? Or not Friendship?
The one Friendship. I think that right. That's the one with Tim
Tim
Robinson.
Robinson and Paul Rudd. People say that's like the funniest movie of the year. Um,
Thunderbolt's coming soon. I'm seeing that on the 28th. I
oh,
think. Excited for that, dude. The trailer, every teaser I see for that, I like a little bit more.
yeah.
Let's see. Friendship comes out
Shout out
May.
Florence Pugh demanding to jump off the second tallest building in the
I
world.
can't think of anything that made you hornier than her being like in the Tom Cruise School of Acting thought like I
She was right.
you will let me jump
She
off the building.
she was absolutely right.
Yeah.
They had nothing to market this movie with, and now they cannot stop showing that goddamn one shot of her jumping off that building. Like this
Yeah.
is look at these big. We're doing real stunts in this movie.
Dude, it
She was
works.
right.
Oh, so another did you see the teaser for Mission Impossible as well? I was like, that
Uh,
gets me so revved up, dude. That plane is so low. How is he hanging off the side? It's like 10 feet off the ground. Like, God, I love that psycho. Friendship is May 9th, by the way. So we got some time
okay.
for that. But yeah, that will be exciting.
We're
Another
finally out of
single
the. This is
theater.
nice. We made it through it.
Hmm.
Pat yourself on the back. We made it through the first 4 months of this fucking god awful year with two good Soderbergh movies and nothing else.
Hmm.
Just there's been some other good stuff, but it's been dire. Now we're
Yes.
finally. Whew.
We got Black Bag. We
We
got
got
we
Black
got
Bag, Presents,
Presence was great.
Ephus, Mickey 17 was pretty good.
Yeah. But
Uh,
again, that's not meeting expectation
yeah,
necessarily. Gunsling the King of Kings. Oh, I forgot.
yeah,
Glimmer had to go see that. Yeah. That's a God movie, right?
yeah. Isn't like Oscar Isaac
Kenneth Branagh,
voicing?
Uma Thurman, Mark Hamill, Pierce Brosnan, Forrest Whitaker, Ben Kingsley, Oscar Isaac. What the fuck? And it's directed by a Korean guy? There's too much going on in that. Yeah, so a lot going on. Well, I don't know. But we have we'll be back on early next week. We can talk about all the
Fuck you,
shows.
Korean Jesus.
Yeah, Korea. We'll have all the show reviews for you early next week, including there's like every show is back now. I mean, the studio's ripping. Um,
Yeah, I need to watch the new episode.
Righteous Gemstones getting good as they come towards the end of their season or end of their last season. And what was the new show that I'm blanking on? There's a new show that just
Oh, Lazarus. We've been talking about that.
well,
Not
Lazarus,
on
which is
this.
awesome, but The Last of Us was the other one I was thinking of. Duh.
Oh yeah,
But Lazarus, yes, we could just mention that. Lazarus is awesome.
yeah. Lazarus is great. If you ever watched Cowboy Bebop, which is like one of the more famous animes ever,
Best starter
Definitely
anime,
more,
by the way.
probably most influential animes ever made. The guy who made it has only made like two, three other series. That Samurai Champloo, which is also great. When we interviewed Henry Golding, he raved about it.
Hmm.
Awesome. Banana Fish, which is much darker, but good too. Now he's got this, which is like made for American audiences with Chad Stahelski on board co-directing it as like the action director for an animated series.
Which is awesome.
Great music, great voice acting, really good voice acting, which
Very.
it's the kind of voice acting that shows that maybe we shouldn't just be letting celebrities just come in and voice act like voice characters on shows because
Correct.
they're famous, but like employ people who do this for a living. Because the voice acting, like you can really tell that these people commit their lives to it. It's awesome. Two episodes in, really cool premise, really awesome action. It's definitely like made for adults too, I would say.
For sure.
Like obviously for kids too, but like it's very much for adults. Like,
It's
so yeah,
definitely it's just his wheelhouse, man. I'm going to show you the coolest guy you've ever seen beating people
hmm
up and doing parkour while you listen to smooth
he's
jazz.
very Spike Spiegel. He's
Yeah,
very Spike Spiegel.
very. But yeah, it is. It's really good. Now definitely watch that. But we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about a few other shows that are coming out.
I think the Last of Us episode is supposed to be massive
Yes,
this week.
potentially the biggest. We
So you
could,
might hear from us again like Monday or Tuesday.
depending on the
We
reaction
talk
for
about
sure.
this. Yeah.
But yeah, we will talk to you guys next week.